Now, the KFC ministry goals are threefold. First of all, evangelizing kids. Secondly, enriching families. And thirdly, renewing society. And by clicking on the next slide, we see here that the ministry programs are the following: kids evangelization, family enrichment, social renewal, and mission support. These programs, in essence, are the ways where the ministry is able to achieve those three goals. And if you click onto the next slide, again, it just shows kids evangelization is right in the middle, and that's where it begins. And from there, kids are able to enrich the lives of their own families, and as families, they're able to renew society as a whole. And KFC as a ministry has programs for all of these, and mission support as the final program cuts across all the others because we have resources that will allow us as a KFC team, couple coordinators, CFC, YFC, and SFC volunteers alike to be able to carry out these goals. Now let's talk about the Kids Evangelization Program in KFC. With Kids Evangelization, we refer to the activities that are actually already being held in your own respective KFC areas. So within this program, we hold activities that focus on being able to bring Jesus closer to the kids. So for every KFC chapter, we ask that on a monthly basis, you hold a kids assembly. And in this kids assembly, the basic format includes games, songs with actions, and when the kids come into prayer, their version of a worship is called Kids Praise. There's usually a teaching done for that particular month, and again, possibly an activity to reinforce the teaching for that month. Now there are basic entry points to KFC, and for the younger ones, ages 4 to 7, we have the Junior Kids Day, which is a half-day event. And for those 8 years to 12 years of age, we have the Senior Kids Camp, which is an overnight event for these older kids. And as well, on an area level, whenever you see fit, you may plan for other creative camps. And these include the Champ Camp, God's Little Army, Eco, or Star Camp. And again, all of these provide an avenue for the kids to not just get closer to one another as brothers and sisters, but also to learn more about Jesus and to reinforce the teaching that Jesus is our best friend. Jesus is the most exciting person that they can have in their lives as young as they are. Now, as mentioned in the KFC mission and vision statement earlier, here in KFC, we're raising up Christ-like leaders. And as part of the Kids Evangelization Program, we have a few initiatives that have been introduced that'll allow us to really empower those children whom we really see carry that potential to be leaders of today leading into tomorrow. So first of all, we want to introduce power teams in all of our KFC areas. So picture this, having mini household groupings in each KFC chapter assembly. So they will act very similar to CFC household heads. Of course, these activities are done not on a house-to-house basis, but in the churches where the chapter assemblies are being held. So we gather the teams, power teams, according to their age group, and we identify older KFC kids that can be called power leaders. These power team leaders will be undergoing a power camp, which is similar to a household leaders training. The next initiative we'll be introducing this year is the Kids Ambassadors. So on a chapter or cluster level, you may choose one boy and one girl to represent KFC as the models of excellence. Now, these two young ones will be discerned for and appointed as the Kids Ambassadors to represent your kids. And it will not be just a popularity contest, but really what this is, it's to empower these two young ones to serve in your area. So whether there are service projects that they can do, they can spearhead this and again be role models for the other kids in your local area. This year on September 4th, we'll be holding the KFC Global Day of Service. So each chapter or cluster is encouraged to hold an assembly that is service-oriented. And this could be one of the ways where we can get the kids ambassadors involved by either asking them to lead a certain part of a project for that day, or to really be that example of what a leader is in whatever social outreach program we choose to adopt and take part in for that day. As well, this year on December 18th to 20th, we will be hosting the KFC International Kids Village in Singapore. This will be the first time this event will be held outside of the Philippines, and an invitation goes out to all of our KFC members all across the world to take part in this great event. It would be highly encouraged for each CFC area to consider sending your respective kids ambassadors to represent KFC in your own areas in this wonderful gathering of kids from all across the world. Now with the crossover initiative, this will really help bridge the transition from Kids for Christ to Youth for Christ. We find that from ministry to ministry, sometimes the transition is a little bit difficult, but that's actually not the case in KFC, where at 10, 11, or 12 years old, a lot of our kids are already very excited to move on into the next ministry, which is YFC. So with the crossover, we have a graduation day or a YFC orientation, where we really get the senior kids excited to move on up to their next ministry, which is Youth for Christ.